The scene was a stark contrast to the glitz.
Breaking news tonight, Sean Diddy Combs has been arrested in a Manhattan hotel this evening.
Luxurious parties and a string of chart-topping hits, Combs was a fixture in the world of high fashion and music. His presence at any event guaranteed a touch of class and a flurry of media attention. Federal agents swarmed a luxurious New York City hotel, their target, the hip-hop mogul himself. The operation was meticulously planned, with agents moving swiftly and decisively. The hotel, usually a haven for the elite, was now the epicenter of a high-stakes drama. Combs, accustomed to red carpets and VIP treatment, was now facing handcuffs and a very public arrest. The stark contrast between his usual life of privilege and the current situation was palpable. Cameras flashed, capturing every moment of his fall from grace. News of the indictment spread like wildfire, sending shockwaves through the music industry and beyond. Social media platforms buzzed with speculation and disbelief. Fans and critics alike were glued to their screens, eager for updates on the unfolding scandal. This wasn't just another celebrity scandal, it was a dramatic fall from grace for one of music's most powerful figures. The industry, already reeling from various controversies, was now faced with the potential downfall of one of its titans. Studios and record labels braced for the impact. Combs' attorney, visibly shaken, spoke of his client's cooperation with authorities. He emphasized the mogul's willingness to face the charges head-on, portraying him as a man ready to clear his name. The press conference was tense, with reporters firing questions relentlessly. He emphasized Combs' decision to voluntarily relocate to New York, anticipating the legal storm brewing on the horizon. This move was seen as a strategic attempt to show good faith and responsibility. However, the public's opinion was divided, with many questioning his motives. But the damage was done. The once pristine image of the music mogul was now tarnished. The media frenzy had taken its toll, and the repercussions were felt far and wide. His business ventures and personal relationships were under intense scrutiny. The arrest, the culmination of a long and arduous investigation, signaled that the allegations against Combs were serious, potentially career-ending. The FBI had been building their case for months, if not years, and the evidence they had gathered was substantial. The music world held its breath, wondering what dark secrets were about to be exposed. The silence in recording studios was deafening, as artists and producers pondered the future. Awards and accolades seemed hollow in the face of such a monumental scandal. For years, rumors and allegations had dogged Sean Combs. These whispers, often dismissed as mere gossip, began to form a pattern that was hard to ignore. They circulated in hushed tones, whispers of misconduct, particularly towards women. These murmurs, though quiet, carried the weight of serious accusations. Lawsuits alleging sexual assault and inappropriate behavior surfaced with disturbing regularity. Each new case brought more attention, more scrutiny, and more questions about the man behind the music empire. Each new accusation chipped away at the carefully constructed image of P Diddy, the charismatic entrepreneur. The public began to see cracks in the facade, revealing a more complex and troubling reality. One lawsuit, filed by his former girlfriend, the talented singer Cassie, sent ripples of shock through the industry. Her claims were not just another headline, they were a bombshell that demanded attention. The accusations within its pages were deeply troubling, painting a picture of a man used to getting his way, regardless of the cost. Cassie's detailed account added a new layer of credibility to the growing list of allegations. Combs, for his part, remained defiant. He stood firm in his denials, presenting himself as a victim of opportunistic attacks. He vehemently denied all allegations, dismissing them as attempts to exploit his wealth and fame. His public statements were forceful, aiming to sway public opinion in his favor. His legal team, a formidable force, went on the offensive, aggressively challenging each accuser and their claims. They left no stone unturned in their efforts to discredit the allegations, but the whispers refused to be silenced, growing louder with each passing lawsuit. The public discourse shifted, with more people willing to speak out and demand accountability. The once muted whispers had turned into shouts, echoing through the corridors of power and influence. The charges against Sean Combs were staggering in their gravity. Prosecutors accused him of sex trafficking, a chilling accusation that struck at the heart of his carefully crafted image. The indictment, unveiled in a packed New York courtroom, laid out in stark detail a pattern of alleged criminal behavior spanning over a decade. Combs, according to the prosecution, was not just a music mogul. He was the head of a criminal enterprise, using his power and influence to coerce and exploit vulnerable individuals. Racketeering, forced labor, transportation for prostitution, the charges piled up, each one carrying the potential for a lengthy prison sentence. The man who had once seemed invincible, untouchable in his world of luxury and fame, now faced the very real prospect of spending decades behind bars. From the outset, Sean Combs maintained his innocence. He stood firm, unwavering in his stance, asserting that he had been wrongfully accused. Not guilty, he declared, his voice echoing through the silent courtroom. The weight of his words hung in the air, a stark contrast to the tension that filled the room. His legal team, led by the renowned Mark Agnifilo, launched a vigorous defense. Agnifilo, known for his tenacity and sharp legal mind, was determined to dismantle the prosecution's case piece by piece. They were prepared to fight tooth and nail to clear Combs' name, to expose what they claimed was a case built on lies and greed. Every document, every piece of evidence was scrutinized with meticulous care. Combs' defense strategy was multi-pronged. It wasn't just about proving his innocence. It was about revealing the flaws and biases in the prosecution's approach. They attacked the credibility of the accusers, highlighting inconsistencies in their stories and suggesting ulterior motives. Each cross-examination was a calculated move, designed to unravel the prosecution's narrative. They challenged the validity of the evidence, claiming it was either circumstantial or obtained improperly. The defense argued that the evidence presented was not only insufficient, but also tainted by procedural errors. And they hammered home the narrative that Combs, a wealthy and successful man, was an easy target for false accusations. They painted a picture of a man whose success had made him a magnet for envy and deceit. The legal battle promised to be long and arduous, a clash of titans, with Combs' freedom and legacy hanging in the balance. The courtroom became a battleground, where every argument, every piece of evidence, and every witness testimony could tip the scales of justice. The stakes were incredibly high, not just for Combs, but for everyone involved. The media frenzy outside the courthouse was a constant reminder of the public's interest and the pressure on all parties to deliver a decisive outcome. Supporters rallied outside, holding signs and chanting slogans, showing their belief in Combs' innocence. Their presence was a testament to the impact of the case beyond the courtroom walls. Inside, the legal teams continued their relentless pursuit of justice, each side convinced of their truth. The trial was more than a legal proceeding. It was a dramatic saga that captivated the nation. Section 5. A Shadow Over the Empire. The investigation into Sean Combs' alleged crimes was sprawling and complex. It stretched from the luxurious mansions of Los Angeles to the bustling streets of New York, leaving no stone unturned. Federal agents, armed with warrants, descended upon Combs' residences, their presence a stark reminder of the seriousness of the allegations. The investigation wasn't just about Combs. It extended outwards, ensnaring his associates and business dealings. Authorities were determined to unravel the full scope of the alleged criminal enterprise, to expose anyone who may have aided or abetted Combs' activities. The music industry watched with bated breath as the investigation threatened to uncover a dark underbelly of exploitation and abuse. Section 6. Behind Closed Doors. At the heart of the case against Sean Combs were the harrowing accounts of his accusers. Their allegations painted a disturbing picture of abuse and coercion, of a man who used his power to manipulate and control those around him. These weren't just stories of fleeting encounters. They were accounts of systematic abuse, of lives irrevocably damaged. One woman, whose identity remained protected, described how Combs used drugs and threats of violence to keep her silent about his alleged misconduct. Another detailed how Combs pressured her into performing sex acts, promising to advance her career in return. These accusations, deeply personal and incredibly difficult to share publicly, exposed a side of Sean Combs that stood in stark contrast to his public persona. Section 7. A Tarnished Legacy. The allegations against Sean Combs sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry and beyond. This wasn't just another celebrity scandal, it was a reckoning for a man who had built an empire on music, fashion, and philanthropy. Combs, once hailed as a visionary entrepreneur, now faced the very real prospect of his legacy being forever tarnished by these accusations. The court of public opinion was swift and unforgiving. Brands distanced themselves from Combs, endorsements disappeared, and his carefully curated image lay in tatters. The man who had built his career on charisma and charm was now seen as a symbol of toxic masculinity and abuse of power. Regardless of the outcome of the legal proceedings, one thing was certain: Sean Combs' legacy would never be the same. Section 8. Voices Seeking Justice. The women who came forward to accuse Sean Combs did so knowing their lives would be thrust into the spotlight. They faced intense scrutiny, their stories picked apart in the media and challenged by Combs' legal team. Yet, they persevered, their voices unwavering in their pursuit of justice. Their bravery in coming forward, in speaking truth to power, was a testament to their resilience. They refused to be silenced, to let their experiences be swept under the rug. Their fight for justice transcended the courtroom, becoming a rallying cry for accountability and a stark reminder that even the most powerful individuals are not above the law.